going to whiz through the 9 pieces from the 2022 flute syllabus by ABRSM. So the first piece, that's A1, is Vivace from, it's a second movement from Sonata in B minor by Handel. So this piece of music is from one of his sonatas. He wrote 11 sonatas, and in those days would be played on a wooden flute, and you would also have a cellist playing along with you, and usually a harpsichord, because the piano hadn't been invented in those days. So it's a good idea to get some kind of feeling for how to interpret the piece from listening to a Baroque version of it. This is the 11 sonatas. And if you open it up, you can see, this is this movement, you can see that it's like a little duet with the cellist. So it's like a colourful tapestry, because Baroque music is pattern-based. At different points in the music, the cellist would have the most important part of the pattern, and at some stage you will have an important part of the pattern. So it's a good idea to actually listen to the original, and then you can decide how to go loud and soft in your interpretation of the piece. I would suggest that you put in the breath marks very early on, because otherwise you might get into a habit of breathing in lots of different places, which is never a good idea. You need to decide straight away, really. The other thing that you need to think about in this piece of music is you need to decide which are the most important notes. You need to actually emphasise some and shape the music round. Some of the notes are more important than others, so you need to actually decide which ones are most important. What you can do is you can put the ones that mark the ones that you think are most important with a little line above them, which means like a little lean, or it's a type of accent. I'm sure you've come across it before, before grade 5. So that's that one. You need clear tonguing, and obviously it's a reasonably fast piece. It's worth considering that one because it's in the standard flute repertoire. Not a lot of pieces for associated board exams are now set repertoire for flautists, so it's worthwhile learning that one because you will be able to play it in concerts later on, and it's a standard piece that has lasted centuries, so we know that it's likely to stay around, whereas some of the pieces in the associated board books now are very recent. We don't know how long they're going to last, whether they're really any good or not really, because we don't know. Some of them seem very good, some of them are not so good. A2 is by Cecil Armstrong Gibbs. I don't know this piece. That's because it was written a lot later, so it has a different feeling to it. It's romantic. You need a strong low register tone to play this piece. As you can see from the beginning, it starts off pretty low for the flute really, and mezzo forte. So you need to make sure that you have a nice strong sound there. And the middle section is usually different, and it's in a different key. Section. and then you go back to the start, same tune. It wasn't part of my standard repertoire when I was trained to be a flautist, but it seems quite a nice piece of music and worth considering in order to, apart from practising your low register tone exercises, maybe from the tone book by Trevor White or from the sonority book by Marcel Noyes. You could also practice your A major scale before starting the piece, which will help you get the right notes. It does go into a different key halfway through and then comes back again. So it's an ABA construction. The middle section, I haven't heard the piano part, but I guess the piano part must have the tune in the middle section. So you might be actually accompanying the piano. So you need to make sure that you listen to the piano part as well in that section. Okay, A3 is Gigue from number 3 from Trois Petites Pièces. Augusta Holmes. I don't know this piece either. It's a very different style though. Okay, this is a piece of music that could very easily lapse into the Teddy Bear's Picnic. By that I mean, if you divide the notes up into semiquavers, for example, the first note is a dotted quaver, and so that's 3 semiquavers, and then you've got another semiquaver after that, so it's 3 to 1. It's not 2 to 1 like Teddy Bear's Picnic. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. So that's 2 to 1. You don't want it to sound like that. Make sure that you leave that little semiquaver right to the last minute. Da 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 da. This is all about tonguing, certainly in the first section anyway, and then it doesn't seem to actually reiterate, so it's different. You've got the same rhythmical pattern coming in at bar 55, 56, but otherwise it's different all the way through. So you've got different challenges at different points in this piece. The next challenge is, cross fingering, which is quite tricky. That little bit there, so if you have trouble with that, make sure that you raise your first finger for D, by the way, and also put your little finger on for E and F sharp. You might think that the examiner won't notice, but we'd hope that they'd notice anyway, because it's something that you should have your ear trained up for. When you look at bar 21, you've got some intervals that are quite tricky to cross finger. You can actually just take 2 notes at a time and just play those over and over. So, and you can go. Just to make sure that you can do that, and you can do that for all this, this section here, because there's quite a lot of movement around the D and the E flat, which is a bit tricky. And then you've got another section, different section again on bar 29. If you've got 1 dot, you're adding on half the value of the note again. So if you've got a crotchet, then it's worth a quaver, so it becomes 1.5 beats. But if you've got another dot after it, that adds on 1/4 of a beat. So you've then got 3/4 to add on to that 1 beat. So you've got 1 3/4. So that means that you really do need to leave that right to the last moment. And then it goes back to this triplet. Okay, it's quite a fun piece to play. At the end you've got a trill. That's just a thumb trill. It seems quite a fun piece to play. I have a video all about the Claude Allegro Moderato, so you'll find that on my channel. So I'm not going to talk about that piece in this video. That's B1. But, that is standard repertoire. Right, intermezzo. This is B2. And it's from a very well-known piece of music, Cavalleria Rusticana, which is not, so this is an arrangement for flute, and it's got a lovely tune to it. It should have a lovely tune to it. And then the main tune comes in at the poco più mosso. So this is a piece of music that requires a beautiful sweet sound and a lot of breath control, and also you need to use your vibrato in order to colour the music so that it sounds beautiful and expressive. A good idea would be to listen to the original piece of music to give you some idea about the intensity and the expression. Out Walking by Errollyn Wallen. Last into the future. So very atmospheric. For that one you would need good breath control and good tone. Okay, so this is a lot of fun. I think this is quite a popular choice. You have the first section, and then at the end, this is the same kind of thing at the end. And then in the middle section, you have a legato. So this isn't terribly difficult to play. It's just that you will probably have to learn it quite slowly at first, so that your fingers get used to the patterns that you're playing. Probably going to be a mistake practicing it too fast, too soon. And it's the kind of piece of music that you could practice with a metronome. It's not got anything terribly difficult about it. Yeah, it's not very difficult, and it's fun to play. Okay, American Pie. Oh, this looks pretty straightforward. So this is a piece of music that's unaccompanied, I believe, because it's been written into More Graded Studies for Flute, Book 1. And it's written by Sally Adams, who I know. Actually, I'm quite surprised to see it's grade 5. I think associated board are struggling a bit getting the pieces all the same kind of standard, because they keep involving different genres all the time. The speed is very fast. That's how they've made it a grade 5 piece, I think. So it's all about tonguing and slowing in the middle section, obviously. It's quite good fun. Obviously, if you're playing something unaccompanied, it can sometimes be a little bit more nerve-wracking. So it's a good idea to test out your nerves in front of other people before you actually do the examination. Perhaps do a little informal concert and see whether you can actually get through this piece, playing it up to speed in front of other people. But on the whole, this has not really got any technical issues about. Doesn't look like it's got anything particularly difficult about it. Obviously, it goes up to top A flat, but you're playing grade 5, so should be able to get get up to that top note. The last one is a mazurka. Oh, one of these Chopin pieces that have been arranged for flute. So Chopin arrangements have become very popular in recent years. I would say that you do need to break some of the slurs that the arranger has put in order to make the music flow in the way that Chopin wanted it to. It's a good idea to listen to a good pianist play this piece, someone like Rubinstein, so that you can get some idea about how to add in rubato, because you really need to slow down and speed up in different places to make the music more expressive. It's not the easiest choice for this grade. So you can't really breathe in the rests because it will break the music up too much. So it's not... Chopin does sound beautiful on the flute. It would be a lovely piece to play in a concert. People would really like it. So that concludes my whiz through grade 5 flute. Okay, bye for now.